Hey, I'm the NetherRealm Nobody, and this is the MK10 of Mortal Kombat 2. So, for those who don't know what the MK10 series is, basically it's a companion series to the Komplete Mortal Kombat. Which is another series I have on here. And so, I would urge you, just out of my own personal interest, if you would go check out the Komplete series. And I did a Komplete series of Mortal Kombat and the Komplete Mortal Kombat and Komplete Mortal Kombat 2. And then I also have the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. And it'll give you an idea of what this is about, but if you don't want to do the homework, I completely understand. So, basically, what I do here is I rank the top 10 fighters from Mortal Kombat, but not based on like popularity or my personal favorites. It's based on their performance in the Komplete Mortal Kombat. So, for instance, this is based on the Mortal Kombat 2, the Komplete Mortal Kombat 2 I did. And so I will be ranking them based on their performance in that video. So again, if you feel lost, check those videos out first. If not, let's just jump in this together. Now, the funny thing is when I did the MK10 for Mortal Kombat, there was only 10 characters. That's it. And so everybody was going to get ranked, because, you know, perfect 10. And they had no previous anything. Like it was just that video. So it was much easier. When it came time to do the Komplete Mortal Kombat 2, and then I went ahead and wrapped it up, and then I was like, alright, time to do the MK10 for Mortal Kombat 2. I was at a fork in the road, and I could have went either way. Do I do this just based exclusively on their, I don't know, their performance just in this video? Or do I roll over the stats from the previous, rankings? Like a real competitive sport. You just kind of roll them over. It's a continual thing. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to basically take whatever stats they built up, whatever rankings they built up previously, and incorporate that into their score in this one. The only downside of that would be that sometimes you'll have... sorry, getting my mask in my mouth. Sometimes you will have, fighters who did really well last year that maybe didn't do so well this year. Yet they kind of hang out in the top 10 because of that. But I'm okay with that. I'm ready to roll with it. And yeah, that's how we're going to do things here. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. The MK10 of Mortal Kombat 2. Now, I should also explain, this is the only video on this channel that I do completely kayfabe. For those who don't know what kayfabe is, it's a term that wrestling fans use when pro wrestlers are trying to create the illusion it's all real. So they don't stray from character. It's all real, guys. It's kayfabe. We're kayfabing you. And this is the only video I do that on. Like, the rest of the videos is my own honest whatever. And this video is the video where I'm going to try to bullshit you and tell you that I'm actually from the NetherRealm and this all really happened. And I'm attacking it from like an analytical view. Like, I'm a sportscaster. Like, ESPN hired me to go down to this tournament and then broadcast it, to you guys. So, that's kind of where I'm hitting this from. So if you're a little confused by that, don't be. That's just kind of the style of the show. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Guys, this is the MK10 of Mortal Kombat 2. At number 10, new to the tournament this year, Jade. That's right. Not a lot is known about Jade, actually. All we do know is that she's an assassin working for Shao Kahn. She's dressed very similarly to Kitana and Mileena. In fact, I thought initially she was like a triplet, like the third sister. But her complexion kind of gave that away, so definitely not related by blood. Anyways, but she has the same kind of war fans as Kitana and a similar fighting style. She actually came in at, she was a secret assassin that Shao Kahn has hired. It's funny because last year, we saw how nervous Shang Tsung was getting when Liu Kang was going through the bracket. And he threw Reptile out there. He only had one hidden warrior last year. This year, Shao Kahn threw out three. Threw out three of them. And Jade was one of them. And so, anyways, she was only in one fight. She would suffer a round 2 loss to Liu Kang. Yeah, but man, she put up a hell of a fight. Like, Liu Kang was, like, lobbing fireballs at her, and I swear it was like she just had a force field around her. Fireballs going around her and everything. Truly just crazy. So the other thing is, I gotta get to her fight style because she's also just really tough. Like, she literally gave Liu Kang a run for her money. For his money. But anyway, Liu Kang would defeat her. A weird side note. So I don't know, you guys didn't know this. The broadcast went off the air after, Liu Kang won and left the arena. However, it was not over. Like, the forces of Outworld literally attacked everybody from Earthrealm. Now, I was already gone. Me and Scorpion already got sucked back to the Netherrealm, and, boom, I heard about this later on. It was like water cooler talk the next day. But apparently Outworld tried to take out the Earthrealmers as they was leaving. And I'll just be like, I mean, literally trying to kill these guys. Like, they're just like, screw if we lost. We don't care about this new reset tournament or whatever. No, we're not waiting to kill you guys. We're doing it right now. I don't think it worked out too well for them, but we had a couple of casualties. And I'll get to the other one later, but I heard Jade was killed in the combat. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Again, this is just a rumor. I wasn't there to, see it with my own eyes. I don't know. Either way, she did lose second round match to Liu Kang. She actually ends this tournament with a Mortal Kombat record of 0-1. So there you have it. Number 10 was Jade. At number 9, returning from last year, Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, that was really the tragic story of this tournament. Was that he would end up falling, not just in the tournament, he would actually be killed during his fight. And it really, I mean, I know I'm from the Netherrealm, but, I was Earthrealm born. And so it hits me kind of, like it hit everybody else. And, when you think about where Johnny Cage was mentally last year compared to this year, like last year, he was just this arrogant movie star who was just joining the tournament just to prove who he was, prove that he's a big shot, prove that he was no longer a Hollywood phony. It was an ego boost for the guy. Okay, admittedly, it wasn't that much different this year, but the big difference was this. Last year, he had no idea what was really at stake. Like, he didn't know that the Earthrealm, was literally, the fate of Earthrealm was in the balance of all this whole thing. And, if we would have lost last year's tournament, forget about it. It's over. This year, he knew it was at stake, and he chose to come back. And I feel like that's the true heart of a warrior. That proved to me that Johnny Cage wasn't just this Hollywood actor who's trying to get his name out there. Is he trying to do that? Absolutely. Does he want the bragging rights? Of course. But he was fighting for something so much more. And he put his life on the line like all the other Earthrealmers. And unfortunately, he would fall in the first round match to Shang Tsung. Yeah, sorry, just give me a second. But you know what his loss did, I believe? And I'm only speaking for myself and how I perceived the tournament as I was watching it. It seemed to really light a fire under the other Earthrealmers. Like, he didn't die in vain. He carried on the best he could. Or the people carried on the best they could. And I believe that they just took that passion, that fire, and the loss of a comrade to heart. And it helped boost it. And you saw the intensity in a lot of these guys' face. And they're on the list. We'll get to them later. But, yeah, I just got to say, I mean, he went down, but God damn it, Johnny Cage, man. Anyways, so he actually comes in ranked the same position he was last year. He was number 9 in the MK10 of Mortal Kombat. He's number 9 again this year. And he has a Mortal Kombat 2 record of 0-1 and an overall Mortal Kombat record of 0-2. So at number 9, Johnny Cage. All right, moving right along now, we go to number 8, Raiden. That's right, returning from last year, the God of Thunder, Earthrealm's protector, Raiden. So it feels like it's funny. He's almost like the measuring stick of our guys in a way. Like, it's almost like he's that final test you got to pass to prove. Because here's the thing, Raiden, he's not. At least I don't think he would. I don't think he's gonna kill any of the Earthrealmers. He wants them to succeed, obviously, but he wants to succeed as well. And while sure his god status is revoked while he competes in the tournament, his powers are not. The guy is still shooting lightning bolts. Remember last year? he was fighting himself, his doppelganger, in a mirror match, and just like blew his own dude's head up. It was insane. So he goes into these fights with all this power, and he's still testing the Earthrealmers. Last year, it was him and Liu Kang, and Liu Kang overcame him and would go on to win the tournament. And I felt he did the same thing this year with Kung Lao. They would actually fight first round match, which Raiden would lose. Kung Lao would beat him and go on to have an incredible tournament as well. So it's one of those things where, I don't know, it feels like, yes, he lost, but he means so much more to this tournament and to the fighters. And he's preparing them for the next level. And I just feel like, you got to take all that to account as well. He did lose a couple of places. He was number 6 last year, so he did drop to 8. But, I think overall, he still deserves to be on this list. So, his Mortal Kombat 2 record is 0-1. But his overall Mortal Kombat record is 1-2. At number 8, it was Raiden. Number 7, also returning from last year, Scorpion. Man, this guy is almost in his own vicious loop. His entire story last year was, hey, Sub-Zero killed my clan, killed my family. I want revenge, and I'm going to take him out. This year, oh, hey, look, Sub-Zero's back. I thought I killed him. I'm going after him, he killed my clan. It's the same thing. Like, he's literally just coming back for revenge. Again. However, didn't turn out so good for him this year as Sub-Zero, who I don't know how he came back. It's crazy. Like, I'm hearing some rumors that may not be the same guy. I don't know. Again, I just saw the broadcast like you guys did, and then I was gone. So I don't know. But anyways, Scorpion would lose round 1 to Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero would send his ass packing, freeze him, blow his ass up. It was insane. It was truly crazy. Of course, Scorpion's not dead. I just saw him the other day. He's good. He's fine. Once he died, his soul went back to the nether realm, and I still catch him out on the street every now and then. All the time you guys said hi, don't worry. Anyway, so last year, Scorpion came in at number 4, had a big drop from 4 to 7. So he has a Mortal Kombat 2 record of 0-1. And he has the Mortal Kombat overall record of 2-2. So there you have it, Scorpion. So now moving right along now, we go on to number 6, Noob Saibot. Another mystery hidden opponent that Shao Kahn threw our way. Not a lot's known about who this guy is at all. But what I do know is that, he's one of the mystery guys, Shao Kahn was saying. And this guy, I can't put my finger on it. I've seen this fighting style before. I don't know. It's a mystery to me, but something about this guy's very familiar. Even though he's a shadow, there's something familiar about this guy. He would come in during the 3rd round, or was it semifinals? Semifinals, sorry, to face, quarterfinals. Getting my stuff mixed up here. Quarterfinals to face Kung Lao. And, it was semifinals. I'm getting myself confused. Semifinals, and he would lose to Liu Kang. It was Smoke that came in quarterfinals to face Kung Lao. It was Noob Saibot who fought, Liu Kang in the semifinals. And unfortunately, he would lose. But in that fight, what an insane battle it was. I mean, literally, Noob Saibot pushed him to his limit. Like, seriously, pushed him right to the limit, Liu Kang. And, there was a few moments there I thought he was going to, take the win, but just was not his night. But I think for his performance and the fact that he, many times during that fight, looked like he was going to beat Liu Kang, I got to give him the Duke, So there you have it. Debuting at number 6. Alrighty, so now we're midway through. We're in the top half. I wonder what you guys are thinking. I'm just ranking this based on the performance from my, experience, but you guys may have a different outlook on this. Please drop your rankings down below. I appreciate it. So, moving right along now, we're going to number 5, and I'm talking about Kung Lao. Kung Lao had an incredible showing this year. First year, too, by the way. Like, seriously, I don't know what's in the drinking water in that, Shaolin monastery, but it's doing wonders because, like, everybody who comes out there is kicking ass. So, Kung Lao, very much like Liu Kang, his homeland was destroyed by outworld forces. Most notably, Tarkatans. Baraka just laid waste to their temple. However, whereas, nothing wrong, clearly that's personal to him, and he lost his homeland just like Liu Kang. But this guy's fighting for something that's a little bit more. You know, we know he's a descendant of the great Kung Lao, and I get the sense that maybe he's fighting for family pride. You know, he felt like, you know, his ancestor, you know, fell to the hands of Goro, overall fell to the hands of Outworld, and that is what's led to the downfall for so many, you know, generations of Earthrealmers. And it wasn't until Liu Kang was able to turn the tide back and win the tournament back for Earthrealm that things changed. And I feel like Kung Lao kind of puts a lot of that blame on his own family. Unrightly so. He really, you know, he shouldn't be blamed for what his ancestors, you know, did or didn't do. But I don't think you can tell Kung Lao that. And I think he went into this thing with a purpose. He had an excellent showing. As we mentioned before, you know, he took out, he took out Raiden in the first round. In the second round, took out Katana. Quarterfinals, he defeated Smoke. However, it would be the semifinals that he would lose to Shang Tsung. Again, a hell of an effort for his first tournament, and yeah, he dominated. So, yeah, number 5, Kung Lao. So now we're moving right along now. Number 4, Kentaro. Just the impact that Goro had last year, I feel like that's exactly what Kentaro added this year. But he was bigger, stronger, meaner. I mean, this guy is just a beast who eclipses Goro. And Goro was that, you know, grand champion of Mortal Kombat for so many years. And this guy came looking for revenge. You know, when one of your own falls, you know, I just mentioned with Kung Lao, trying to, you know, avenge the great Kung Lao. You know, Kentaro was doing the same thing for Goro. And, yeah, he came in. And, you know, he only had one fight. Unfortunately, he would lose to Liu Kang, you know, in the championship match. But, much like, you know, Goro, it was the dominance in the match. You know, I mentioned earlier that, you know, Noob Saibot pushed Liu Kang to the limit. Well, Goro took him to his breaking point. Or, sorry, Kentaro took him to his breaking point. And, oh, dude, I mean, I feel like when I watched the tournament last year, Liu Kang showed such promise early on that even when he got to his final matches, Goro's the only one I thought he had trouble with. With Shang Tsung, I thought he handled it pretty well. This year, it felt like every match Liu Kang got into after Noob Saibot was a struggle. And with Kentaro, I thought many times, this is it. Like, Outworld's got this thing won. And yet somehow, you know, Liu Kang persevered and fought through and won. So yeah, Kentaro comes in at number 4. There's an interesting side note. I mentioned earlier with Jade, rumor has it that she fell in that huge battle. Well, there is no rumor here. Kentaro's dead. Knocked off a cliff. Fucking Splatsville. But I've been hearing rumblings. I heard that during this entire, you know, epic finale, Goro lives? Have you guys heard this? Yeah, like you, I thought Goro was dead, but apparently there's a bit of a murmur on the underground that Goro's not dead. I don't know. Again, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, but yeah, Goro, apparently he's gone. So did that thing kick off?
I can't tell.
It did not. Okay. Sorry. Back to it. So no, again, you know, Kentaro or Goro apparently survived, so I don't know if that's what that's going to spell for the future of Mortal Kombat. We'll have to wait and see. So moving right along at number 3, Shao Kahn. The baddie this year. Shao Kahn, everything I said about, you know, with Goro equating to, you know, Kentaro this year, the same can be said about Shao Kahn, and he was kind of like the Shang Tsung of last year. Whereas Shang Tsung, you know, he literally, his presence just loomed over this tournament largely. And I feel like Shao Kahn was the same way. Like, he literally, he was everywhere. You saw him, you know, and we're in that final battle, and they're in the arena, and he's sitting on that throne. He looks so powerful, but where he differs from Shang Tsung, in my opinion, is a more dominant display in his fight. Like, literally, again, I thought there was no way Liu Kang's getting out of this thing alive. Like, Liu Kang slaughtered Shang Tsung last year in comparison to his fight with Shao Kahn this year. Just super powerful and just dominating. Even, like, how, like, when Shang Tsung died last year, or we thought he died, he was like shaking and, lights are going off everywhere and all these different, personas stepped out of him and then he just collapsed. But, dude, Shao Kahn just like literally, like he statued up, like he turned to stone and it cracked. And it was almost like I heard from other people that was also, around the arena that in all these different, like, it's all like he appeared for multiple seconds across his kingdom. And then just in a huge blast, explodes. I don't know. All I can say is Shao Kahn's definitely dead. I mean, it's 1993. That's the last we saw of that guy, I guarantee you. But my God, did he go out in a blaze of glory. So, anyways, at number 3, Shao Kahn. Number 2, returning from last year, Shang Tsung. Easily the most improved from last year. Last year, he was the final guy. He was in the final battle. And, didn't turn out good for him. Here, he went in the tournament. Like, he started from round 1 and worked his way through. And I gotta say, he clearly, he had his youth restored. Energized his powers. And it showed. Like, he was very dominant this year. First round win. Unfortunately, he defeated and killed Johnny Cage. Defeated Sub-Zero in round 2. He got a bye through the quarterfinals, which I thought that spelled the end for whoever he's going to face next. And it did. In the semifinals, he would defeat Kung Lao, put him down. However, it was the finals when he would face Liu Kang. And Liu Kang, of course, would defeat him. But what a showing. Again, like Shang Tsung, if you wrote him off last year, forget about it, because he definitely proved himself this year. I just wondered, how did he survive? And I'm not just talking about the fight with Liu Kang last year. I'm talking about he had to go back to Shao Kahn. What was that conversation like? Where he's just like, hey, I failed and I lost the tournament. And 500 years of hard work now down the toilet. Make me young. And Shao Kahn does. Like, what the? I don't know. It's crazy, but it is what it is. But anyways, so Shang Tsung has the same ranking he had last year. He was also number 2 last year. And he has I guess I should have mentioned with the other fighters. Kung Lao, Kentaro, and Shao Kahn, they all have a Mortal Kombat record of 0-1. Oh, sorry, Kung Lao, he's 3-1. So, 3-1. So, but Kentaro, Shao Kahn, 0-1. This year, Shang Tsung, he is also 3-1. But he has an overall Mortal Kombat record of 3-2. So, that leaves us with number 1, and you guys already know who number 1 is. Obviously, this year's winner, he was last year's winner, Liu Kang. Liu Kang showed a level of aggression I didn't think a Shaolin monk would have inside of him. But can you blame the guy? He won the tournament last year. He was told, as we all were, that Earthrealm's going to be safe for another generation. And even if we get challenged, it's settled in the Mortal Kombat arena, right? Like, there is no, anything you have to worry about. And yet, they sent a Tibetan army to destroy and kill his homeland. And then on top of that, he had to face all these guys who were gunning for him because he's a top guy and they all have some sort of revenge on their mind. First round match, defeats Reptile in a rematch from last year. Round 2, he gets Baraka, finally gets his hand on the guy who led the charge on his hometown invasion. No, sorry, round 2 is Jade. Yeah, he fought Jade. Beats the shit out of her. Moves on to quarterfinal to face Baraka. And, totally destroyed him. Killing him. Turned into a dragon. He turned into a dragon and bit the guy in half. Like, I was like, what? That's insane. Who does that? Fucking Liu Kang. I mean, again, his aggression level was off the chart this year. Semifinals. Noob Saibot. That's the thing. Liu Kang was promised 2 buys in this tournament. After he defeated Reptile, he was supposed to coast to the quarterfinals, and they threw Jade at him. He defeats Jade, defeats Baraka in the quarterfinals. Gonna get a bye to the finals to face the winner of Shang and Kung. And in fact, they threw Noob Saibot at him. And again, that's when it started getting to him. The pressure of the tournament, I believe. These guys were getting tougher. He would defeat Noob Saibot in the semifinals, go up against Shang Tsung in the finals. A rematch from last year, our main event from last year, happening right here. At this point, it's a gauntlet match because he's the last Earthrealmer. He has to win all his matches. He defeats fucking Shang Tsung. Goes up against Kentaro in the championship match. Defeats him. Final Mortal Kombat match, Shao Kahn, and he defeats him. But the look on his face didn't show the look of a winner. Last year he was happy, he was celebrating, as we all were. Liu Kang finally saves Earthrealm, it's over. But after what Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung and the others from Outworld did this year, there's no trust that there's going to be safety anymore. They invaded Earthrealm, land, and, attacked us. Who's to say they won't just do it again, And I think he knows that. I think, as he travels back, and even if he get ambushed, by the way, by the other Outworlders, he has to be thinking, like, this is going to be far from over. Like, he's always going to have a target on his back now. And he just successfully repelled the fight. It's over. They could easily challenge us again for next year. We don't know. However, Liu Kang's a warrior. He's our warrior. And even though I'm from the Netherrealm, I consider him my champion. He's the champion of the Earthrealm. So, thank you, Liu Kang. We are truly in debt. You're the Hulk Hogan of Mortal Kombat. You're the Earthrealm champion. I want to say all-American hero, but you're Chinese. You're the all-Chinese hero. You're the all-Earth hero, and you're the hero we need. So, thank you. Thank you so much. He has, again, I mentioned he was #1 last year. He's #1 this year as well. He has a Mortal Kombat 2 record of 7-0, which is freaking unheard of. But he has an overall Mortal Kombat record of 14-0. No one can beat this guy. Not even the great Kung Lao had a record like that. Not even Goro. Each time Liu Kang is fighting through him, he's going through these tournaments. He's not just putting himself at the end, like Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung and these, Shinnocks. No, or not Shinnocks, Shokans. No, he's literally at the end, waiting. That's all they do, but not Liu Kang. Liu Kang starts in round 1 and works his way through, and they're always trying to screw him. They're always stacking the deck, but man, he just keeps coming back. Round after round. So, there you have it, guys. There is my MK10 of Mortal Kombat 2. I want to thank you guys for watching. It means a lot to me. I have really enjoyed, we haven't gotten big yet, but what little bit of viewership interaction I've had with you guys, it means the world to me. Thank you so much for that. Continue it, please. If you know people out there who are big Mortal Kombat fans, share the video, spread the word around. Check me on my socials. I do, I'm constantly on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. They won't let me on Facebook. But I am on X and TikTok and Instagram all the time. So please check me out on there. Of course, like this video, if you enjoyed it. If you like my nonsense rambling, a grown man in a ninja outfit with a hoodie, that's ridiculous. But if you enjoy it, show me you enjoyed it by giving me that thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Please, that also helps us out. I got to go through this generic churning out YouTuber shit, but it's almost like it's obligatory at this point. You got to do it. It's required. And then, of course, hit that bell icon, the gong, if you will, the Mortal Kombat gong. Hit that thing up the side of his head, so that way, anytime I drop a video, you'll be the first ones to know. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and till next time.